Hey, welcome to the Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch, here at Big Condo Radio in our lovely studio off of Vauxhall Road. As we often don't say as much, is that, we are open. It is trying times for people and everything else like that. But we also still observe social distance. And me and my good friend here are far away from each other right about now. And he's back into the studio here. And first, let me introduce this young man. I'm going to introduce him by his name that goes by Blue Saint. What's up, Blue?
Hey, yes, man. How you doing? I love being here.
Hey,
Been a
man.
while.
Hey, you know what? I love having you here because in this particular time, usually I do like kind of like these topic series kind of stuff.
Mm.
And with it being Black History Month and with my education being enlightened of late,
Mm.
I felt it's really important to kind of like talk to young people as well, people in the community
Yeah.
about Black excellence,
Mm.
because it's something that I feel that we've had enough time of not dealing with that,
Yeah.
and that means like Slavery Remembrance Day or, remembering the time that that happened, and it did,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It needs to be
But
remembered.
there also has to be other things that are important that can inspire our young people,
Yeah.
and everything. But you're also one of those young people that are out there inspiring others with your poetry, your
Appreciate
spoken
you.
word, and all of that and everything. So we'll talk about that. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to actually go into one of the projects that you had just recently put out on the social media, a project it turns out that you did a couple of years ago.
Mm.
But I thought it was very prevalent to what's going on. It's always prevalent because this was called Civil Rights,
Right. Yeah.
but it was about well, it involved the young man Emmett Till,
Mm.
who, if you don't know his history, you need to know it. And we'll probably be talking more about it. But it was a part of a bigger project you said called Melanated.
Yeah. Well, performed there, melanated. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're actually going to be able to watch that excerpt that you did. But before we do, let's just talk a little bit about Melanated because it sounds interesting. Because it's one of those things that escaped me.
Mm.
It came out and everything. So just tell us about it.
Well, yeah. It came out in 2016. We record. It was recorded over a period of 2 days in 2016. I think got released in 2017. And it was a documentary about being black and from Liverpool, and it was and they recorded various people in the community, various black people in the community, and just talk to them about like what's like also being specifically from LA. So that's what the way it's
Yeah.
spelled is melanated. The way it's spelled is MELAN8D.
Yeah.
I might have got that wrong. I'll have to check
They
that out
do
in my
that a
head.
couple of times, like
But
the Elevate project.
but yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's like to do with the LA, right? So it's like looking at the people in the LA community, and also like what it's like to be black,
Hmm.
a black scouser, and just exploring that. And yeah, yeah, it was shot, it was filmed by Malik, and the OGs, you know Malik.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was the people who produced it, directed it, Khadija Love,
Hmm.
also part of the Goddess Project,
Yeah.
and and yeah, 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 I have to remember more names from the top of
Well,
my head,
no,
but
but I
yeah,
mean, it just sounds like
dumb, yeah,
it was one of those projects that was filmed that captured that moment in time,
yeah.
and you chose to talk in your bit. Again, like I said, we're gonna watch it, but you chose to talk in your bit about Emmett Till.
Yeah, see, because the piece that I ended up writing, because obviously we were again recorded and talking about our whole experiences, and I was also asked if I wanted to do a spoken word piece, like because I do spoken word poetry, and I did a poem of mine called Civil Rights, which I wrote a couple years prior to that. In fact, as part of a project called Here, which explored hair but like as a from being African or being black, and the importance of your hair, right?
Right.
um
From a male perspective, or
from every perspective. So
okay.
like if you look at the Black Panthers and so on and so forth, like having the afros out, like it was really
Mm.
important because I mean even now like you can in some places still now, like if you have your afro or you just have your natural hair out, like you
Mm.
get called unprofessional or whatever else, right? So it's like just exploring, it was like exploring identity, black identity and
Yeah.
stuff, but through hair as well. And so they had like 4 topics, and it was part of Brouhaha, Brouhaha.
Oh yeah, Bruja, yeah.
Yeah. And so they have 4 topics that we looked at, and Khadija was also a part of that project too. And yeah, one of the four things we looked at was civil rights, post emancipation, and I can't remember the other 2, but I explored civil rights, and then I wrote a poem for it, civil rights, which I ended up called the poem Civil Rights.
Yeah.
And then I performed that. I had the horn, the microphone, and I had the beret to look like I'm representing the Black Panther. And then when we did the parade, the Brouhaha parade, I had the mic, the horn, and the loudspeaker, and I was saying the poem while walking down the street and so on and so forth. But yeah, so for that so when I got put into the documentary, I felt like that was actually a pretty good poem to kind of showcase, because it was talking about being Black.
Yeah.
And also, like I say, one of the people who produced there as well, like one of the people who are part of the Goddess Project, is Anthony Walker's sister, Dominique. Yes, that's what I said. Done before. Yeah, so Dominique, she also filmed and produced it too, Melanated, and yeah, I just felt like it was probably a good poem to kind of talk about the amount that Black people have gone through, where we came from, like just exploring the civil rights movement, but also still saying like there's still a lot of problems that still need to get fixed, even though it's been this sorry, my bad, this amount of time, they still got other things that need looking into. So that's why that's how it ended coming about. Yeah.
Well, sounds like a perfect time just to take a look at this poem and everything, and give people a chance to reacquaint themselves with this, and hopefully follow through by looking up the project Melanated on YouTube, and everything. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna cut to the poem.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you a public service announcement. This is a public broadcast that broadly broadcasts itself among the poor class, the more crass, and of course them posh chaps that be wearing them top hats. Meaning this message is for everybody. So listen in as I pour pure facts through this horn that's currently forced in my coarse grasp. And as my raw thoughts blow past, I hope you store what I pour. 'Cause this message is for the civilians. It's for the little innocent city children that be sitting innocent, sifting through the message I be spitting through. But let me specify, I'm specifically spitting lyrics to hit the spirits of these smitten fools, but also in order to speak to you is about the truth. 'Cause our society is polluted. Black waters filled with mass pollutants, whilst white daughters build a nicer future, black slaughtered, killed, and night is stupid. Just look at Emmett Till. He was forced to look at a woman till his blood was spilled on the ground, it's ill. Forced to drown in Tallahatchie River for a wolf whistle. This is what a kid. The husband must have been looking for peace of mind. Figured he'd take out a piece and find Emmett Till and spill out Emmett's peace of mind. Till the gun would emit a piece of sound, similar to how Emmett hit the ground. They gouged his eye out, and before he could cry out, the bullet was used to crack through his cranium, and the tissues it blew, it concaved his brains in bits, splayed on the paves and made us raise our fists and engage to parade through this great abyss, so that we may raise and lift our race from this tasteless ditch.
Okay, wow. Again, a powerful piece. I remember watching it at home, and that's why I felt that it was a really good piece to play on here and everything. Now, again, this Emmett Till story, right? How important is that for you to re-educate people on what had happened to this young man?
Well, quite a lot of things, it's got some parts of Black history that people don't really know too much about, and quite a lot of people don't know that was Emmett Till was one of the the tragic story of Emmett Till was one of the catalysts, I suppose is probably a good way to use. One of the things that that kind of like really pushed the civil rights movement. Like that's when
it brought people together.
It brought people together. Yeah. Sadly, but it did. Yeah, and so that's why. But not that many people know about Emmett Till. So I was just like, let me. That's why it's important to educate people in these sort of things, because actually it's a very important story to look at.
I mean, for me, right? I'm always telling people, and I'll say it right now again. Watch Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country is phenomenal. And this recent episode, which you said you took a look into, covers their version of the Emmett Till tragedy, where they came in at the end of it to the funeral. And it was people of all races, kind of like going to view the body, because his mom actually felt it was important. I mean, this was such a horrible thing to happen. This was a young man who, just because he, as they determined, was wolf whistle, to a white woman in a place, that these other grown adult men just grabbed him up, put him in a trunk, and did horrible things to this boy, and everything. And it was unrecognizable. It's like looking at a horror movie. You could see it, the face, if you were inclined. But his mother had an open casket. But what they did in Lovecraft Country was they made it a point that it was on one of the hottest days of the year. And because it was so hot, that the body, the smell,
you could smell it,
was permeating the air. If that doesn't get you as to why things like this is horrible and shouldn't continue to happen, but it does, because we have not just George Floyd, but we have all these other incidents. It's a whole horrible list of what's happening to people. And so, like, an incident like this that could happen that long ago and still going on, it's like, it's crazy. It's phenomenal. And that's why I just thought it was just like, it's important to remember that name, so that way you could realize, like, hopefully this shouldn't continue happening. Right?
No, exactly.
I mean, like, the also too is like, the thing is that it's interesting that you mentioned the Goddess Project in a way, because just give me a quick what is that about?
The Goddess Project.
Yeah.
You'd have to do more research.
Okay, I would have to do more research. I am going to. And the reason why I asked about it is because when we were talking about Black excellence and about educating myself, as well as I feel people should educate themselves on, Black history, world history, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that came up for me with, again, Lovecraft Country, they didn't give me money, by the way, but one of the things came up for me was about Empress Califia. Which you said you have not heard of.
No. We were having a discussion about it. So like, I didn't even know about Lovecraft. You told me about it. So I released the poem, and then you told me, oh, have you watched the Lovecraft? And I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch that. So it was like mad interesting. No, I didn't know about. But you see, this is why it's important to talk about these sort of things. Because I didn't know that Empress. Actually, you can probably elaborate it more than me, because you know more than I would do.
Well, I mean, pretty much, she was an African queen, empress, as they say, that came from, Africa, as a lot of Africans did. This was like the 16th century. It was like about around 1533. And her community had a patch of the corner patch of the New World, right, unnamed place. So it was like islands, right? And so one of them was Hawaii, and everything. And she was a warrior queen, and it was only women. It was like a paradise. Oh my God, it sounds like Wonder Woman. But either way you look at it is that so conquistadors, or like it was her story is written in a book called some Esplanadia, and everything by Cortez,
Yeah.
one of the famous conquistador explorers.
Mm.
But my point is that how come we don't know about this woman?
Yeah.
You know, it's and maybe some people do, and then they change it into, oh, all of a sudden there's a paradise full of white warriors, Amazons.
Yeah. So
You know
you
what
can
I
see the
mean?
correlation.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And so we know we're just not talking about it. But when you mentioned the Goddess Project, it just stuck into my head because
No, and that's
that
what.
was the main thing. It's female empowerment.
No, yeah. Well, I was gonna say that just then. I was gonna say the Goddess Project because it's memories are coming back,
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's like it's about empowering Black women.
yeah.
Um, so like so it ties in well, right? With but especially if you call it, if it's goddess, and then
Yeah.
you tie talking about
Yeah.
I see
I'll send
I
you
see
some.
your skills. I see your
I'll
skills.
send you some artwork. I'll send you some artwork, bro.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
actually,
yeah,
she
yeah.
was the reason why they named that corner of the New World California, because her
Right.
name was Califia.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
this is actually supposedly a known fact. If you just look at it like in their history books and that they will say that California was named after Califia,
Mhm.
but nobody talks about her skin
No,
color.
I didn't even know about that one. All
Well,
right,
nope,
I'm gonna
nope,
have to
nope, nope,
watch
nope,
that.
nope, nope.
Yeah.
I mean, main thing about it is that it's kind of like I was saying. Reason why I think this is interesting around excellence is that as a poet,
Mm.
spoken word artist
Mm.
yourself, it's like I'm hoping that maybe spread the word or you lead the charge.
Mm.
It's like let's start talking about more Black excellence.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like when you're like listening to poetry and people are like, I don't know, following the downward curve. Like I need more, I want more, or I deserve more. It's like because you are more.
Mm.
Do you get me? You
Mm.
know what I mean? Anyway, I don't have to inspire you because I know you are already good at what you do. But let me also talk about your family a little bit.
Okay.
Only in the sense that Blue has a big family.
I do have a
So
big
so when
family.
he just says his sister, you go, which one?
Yeah, it's true.
So one of his sisters,
Yeah.
Lena, is involved in a new project that you're also involved in. That's coming out on the 24th of October
Mm.
on Zoom, but it's coming out and it's called I Am a Voice. So can you tell us
Well,
about it?
the company that my sister Lena has, one of my sisters Lena has, is I Am a Voice, but she's got a project on I Am a Voice, called Let's Talk About It,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's
Sorry.
good. No,
Sorry.
that's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And that's coming out on the 24th of October. One of the this got a series, and it's gonna be a series on race relations.
Right.
With my other sister, big family. Yeah, with my other sister Dorcas Seb, in collaboration with her, cause she's got like a poetry album.
Right.
Yeah. So talking about like more poets and needing to talk about race and stuff. There's my sister right there is also doing a whole album around race, race relationship and what's been going on right now with Black Lives and
Hmm.
so on and so forth. So that's gonna be on the 24th of October, 6:15 p.m. Zoom. There's gonna be some poetry, some music, and then just a
Hmm.
discussion on on everything that's been happening so far.
Wow. Wow. I have an Aspergic mind, right? So it's the way like when I take notes, it's like a mind map,
All
right?
right, right.
And so like I get there.
Yeah, you
So
do.
when you just said that your sister had an album, guess where I'm going to now? You
Okay.
just finished your what? Your
I
album
did,
called
yeah.
Memoir.
Yes.
Ain't that cool? Anyway, go
I love the segues. It's amazing.
I'm into the segues, bro. Zoom. But go ahead. Tell us about Memoir.
Yeah, so I finished I've been working on this project since 2016, coincidentally. And yeah, it's about my life. It's exploring just like a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
That just like a memoir explores a person, the highlights of a person's life. That's kind of what this album is to me. And it's just about where I'm from,
Yeah.
um my identity. So me being Congolese, coming from Congo, coming to England, my life experiences, where I've landed, and so on and so forth. So you get little aspects of of like you got some black excellence in there, of course. You got me talking about African history, but then you also you got me talking about just like the various different things. I suppose you'll just get to know me a little bit
Mm.
more, like more on a personal level. But yeah, so I just finished that, and I'm just working on some background stuff for it.
I mean, like what's fascinating, and I think what should be fascinating to everyone really is that I think this pandemic that we're in, we're getting unity amongst the nations, amongst
Mm,
peoples. I mean, like that whole 50 states walking was amazing.
mm,
But what it's doing for me is like, cause I come from America, so I come from that idiocy, right? Where it's like getting to know people for who they are,
yeah.
and that means their culture.
Mm,
That means that not just assuming like
mm,
you're African, so you must be this and you
mm,
must be that.
mm,
Taking the time out to maybe dig a little deeper.
yeah.
So like I just had a conversation, as I said, with Dr. Sylvia Forchap Lakambi and her daughter Latoya and everything, and about their excellence and their success. But what I found interesting was is that like she mentioned to me how she was from Cameroon,
Right.
and so the idiot of me came out in the sense where I thought, oh wow, then you must know Nanny, Queen Nanny from the Maroons. And she's like, who? What? It's kind of like when
Yeah.
I say I'm from New York and people go, hey, you must know Johnny.
Yeah, like who's John?
but,
Yeah, yeah.
but Queen Nanny is one of those again powerful female warriors.
Right.
She was captured and escaped. She
Mm,
didn't go on to Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad, but then
mm,
she had her own.
mm.
But then her people kind of like created their own area, and they became known as the Maroons.
Right.
So I just
I know the
assumed
Maroons. Yeah.
Cameroon is Maroon, right?
Yeah.
But what was really good about the Maroons is that they were the ones that were indicative of creating guerrilla warfare,
Right.
right? And so
Right.
when I was explaining this to them, it's like, really, it's like, well, okay, so guerrilla warfare is like, you remember when you're watching those Schwarzenegger movies
Yeah.
and he's putting war paint on?
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura got like a tree on his head.
Mm.
That's guerrilla warfare because that's what the Maroons did.
Yeah,
So
yeah, like
to
Vietnam, like what happened in Vietnam as well.
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
before Vietnam, they
Mm.
did it to fight off the British
Mm.
and
Mm.
everything. So the British would come into their jungle wearing those big red coats. Like they're
Right.
going, where are these black
Yeah.
people at?
Yeah.
And they be jumping out of trees.
Yeah, they've got all these traps laid out and that.
Yeah, so
Right.
they were the first ones to do it.
Right.
But we don't know that. We only
Yeah,
just
no.
know that it was a war thing, people using the arm like that, and then oh yeah, the soldiers in the movies like Commando and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, but this was created by a black woman.
Right. Right. See, this is why we need to have this conversation, right?
Hey man, thanks
Yeah.
for letting me express that. But I am amazed at all the things that I'm learning and
Mm.
stuff. And so that's what I just want to say about that. So that led me into my question to you is
Mm.
like
Mm.
when you mentioned that you were from the Congo,
Right.
right? And so I just kind of say, hey, so how was life for you? Not to assume,
Mm.
good or bad and everything like that. So I know you came when you were a child and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I came to England that young. But for the most part, for me, because obviously they had the war there.
Mm.
Around the time I was there,
What
biggest
war was that?
war. It's the biggest African war. Actually, it's like over 5 point. Don't say this like it's a parade. I'm just saying this for perspective. Like over 5.4 million people, um, like dead, basically
Yeah.
died. And it's not really discussed, even though it's such a big thing that occurred. And still many problems there. But for the most part, when I was there, because I was young, I was kind of like protected from. I don't have any like bad memories or anything. But I do know of the tragedies
yeah.
and stuff that happened there. Well, at the time I was there anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, like the thing about it though is like cause yeah. But then they're survivors and all that. There's a test of spirit. Have you ever been back afterwards?
No,
All right. Okay.
no. I'm just. I'll say that that's all on the album. That's
Is
all
it
on
really?
the
Is it
album.
really?
It's all on the
I
album.
bet you it is now.
No, I'm saying because I don't like to speak too deeply on like my whole life. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
bro. I get you. I get you. I mean, I tried.
So I'm just, yeah.
I asked you earlier, but
Yeah. Discuss some things you'll know, some things you'll find out later.
You know what, man? That's all good with me, man. I mean, like the thing about it is that just learning a bit about and stuff. I'm from Ohio myself.
But yeah, no,
No, but I get you.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the main thing about it is the fact that being a spoken word artist, as I was saying, is like, what are you doing like of late now and stuff? Because you've been doing a lot of various different things, and then so one of those lists is like, I wouldn't call it world traveler, but you just come back from Turkey, haven't you?
Yeah. So I came from Turkey. I was there for a project, around Islamophobia and anti-Semitism, and just religions as a whole as well. But those were the two things there.
What did you? I mean, like, what did you do? Why was it done in Turkey? And was it specific, or was it, or anything like that?
The company is Future Europe, and it was an international project with different countries. Sorry again, my bad. So like a couple people from the UK. We had Lithuania. A lot of different countries, like Azerbaijan.
A lot of different nationalities meshing together to look at Islamophobia
and anti-Semitism, and it was really big, and just about like it was just about unity, like about just the similarities that we all have, and just about coming together, and the way the medias can portray creates false narratives,
Well, that's
and disinformation and so on and so forth.
Really? Did the media do that? I don't think
well,
so.
not just the media, just everything, I suppose. Yeah. So like, so that's where it was about, and I just came back from that like a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
It was really fun. It was really good.
I mean, congratulations, man. It seems like you're going from strength to strength every time I talk to you. So I mean, that's really good, and I appreciate you coming on the community podcast to talk about not just what you're doing, but even what your family doing. Yeah. Hello, fam. So let me get that right now. It's called Let's Talk About It on October 24th.
That's right.
6:15 if you really wanted to know, on Zoom.
On Zoom.
And everything. And that means it's also available afterwards as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
but that's like if you want to participate in the conversation.
Yeah, if you want to participate, come on to the Zoom.
Yeah.
In terms of what's going to happen after it, you'll know.
Well, no, but that, I mean, no, that's, dude, that's generally the thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Digital footprint last, brother.
But some Zooms you come in and then you come out, right? And then that's the Zoom done, right?
You mean because nobody recorded it?
Good point. But I'm saying I don't know when it's going to get released. Is what I'm saying. I don't know when the recording's going to get released.
You know what? The education, it goes both ways. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do.
Daily.
Yeah. That's what they say. But, you know what, Blue? Again, like, thanks for coming into our studio and everything. Again, this community podcast on Big Condo Radio. We're here at the Big Condo Academy up off of Vauxhall Road on Paul Street. 7 Paul Street and everything. And, we're all about education. So please, if you have an opinion or if you have something that you want to come and discuss or to share, I would sure love to hear from you. Please like and subscribe. Not just because you're friends with Blue, but only because, you're cool.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Yeah.
Well, no, exactly, man.
Chase is also hella cool, too.
You know what? I am hella cool. Thanks, man. I'm glad you said it because it's terrible if I do. So,
Yeah.
So once again, Blue Saint, thank you very much for
All
joining
good.
us here. I'm
Yeah.
Chase Johnson Lynch. You've been watching the Community Podcast here on Big Condo Radio. Please like and subscribe and follow us on all the social media platforms and everything. And let's get this conversation rolling because this is what it's all about this month. Black History Month. Let's continue to talk about excellence in all of its forms and everything because I have other people coming in that's going to continue to do the same. So thank you for joining us here.
That's all good.
All right. So you know what? Oh, what? Did I cut you off?
No, I was gonna just say real quick before, cause you always tell me
Mm.
that I need to be plugging my socials more. I realized I didn't do it, so I'm gonna do it real quick.
Go for it, Brev.
All right, so on Insta, is that the camera right there? So
Yeah, that's your camera right there.
Let's see. So look, right. So my Instagram at Blue Saints Artist. Twitter is blue_saints and Facebook is Blue Saints Artist. Also, I've got a website, so that's just bluesaint.co.uk. Yeah, I actually did the plug.
Yeah, you actually did the plug. And then one last plug will be Melanated.
Yeah.
Check that out on YouTube and
Check that
everything.
out
So that
on
way you get
YouTube.
the full response of, like you said, you only gave us an excerpt, right?
And check out the Goddess Project.
Please do.
Yeah, and yeah.
Cool. Well, then we out of here.
Sweet.
Peace.